Hey everybody, Dr. Venus here, Dr. Venus Opal. Happy found my glasses. Um, Want to talk to you for a few minutes. Just sharing. Um, in case you don't know, let me start at the beginning so I make some sense. I'm Dr. Venus Opal, and I'm the author of the book, The Black Woman. I'm a best-selling author. My newest book right now is called The Raw Truth, A Pimped Artist Diary. It's at Amazon. And we have hey girl, and we have the Raw Truth book plus 2. Thank you, Ms. Robinson. Starting in about 3 weeks, right? And so, Nanna, so I used to live on the streets, eat out of trash cans, sleep and piss in beer. My 9th grade math teacher, we call her Nanna, literally saved my life. And because of her love, I eventually graduated from Stanford University with a second master's and a PhD. I have 4 degrees. I've been featured in Forbes, Essence, Ebony, Black Enterprise, ABC News, NBC News, Fox News. Hi, Dorothy. A host of media. And I'm an award-winning playwright. I'm an award-winning poet. I am a business owner, CEO. And I've done 5 million in less than 6 years with no sales team, without loans, without angel investors, and without any government funding. Okay, so I'm masterful at money. Okay, thank you, Clara. I love Anna too. So that's my thing. For people who are new to me, thank you for tuning in. For those who are my truth tellers, thank you for staying with me. And I want to talk to you about something that kind of blew my brain, broke my brain. So many of you know Nanna was sick. She got sick right after Thanksgiving, right after I came home to my spot, me and Happy. There's Happy, being a puppy. After Thanksgiving, and it was clutch and go. So I wrote it down. It was no fun. Thank you, Andrea. Anyway, she's home now, and there was a scare with a stroke. There was a scare with an infection. She had major surgery, and she's 74, right? So it's not a simple thing. So we're just being with that. So, and she didn't tell me. And she told my aunts not to tell me because she wanted me to focus on the tour. And I get that. Thank you, truth tellers. Anyway, so I'm being with that, right? She's my life guide, right? And so she's home. She has a nurse with her. My Aunt Dorothy's with her. She has a physical trainer. And she's like, no, you get to finish this. You get to do this. And she won't be with me. She won't be with me for the premiere, right? And it'll be the first time she won't be with me at an opening. Even when I do my live events, Nanna leads them with me. She leads from the back, right? And so, that's what's present. And so she's really adamant about me finishing what we start, right? And she's getting stronger, so we're moving forward. It's just she's older, right? If you have an older parent, you understand they're stubborn and you can't hurt their pride or feelings, but she's just strong-willed. Anyway, so we're moving forward, and I thank everybody for your prayers. Thank you for being gracious. Thank you for being great with me. It's a lot to manage right now in terms of timing. I want to say bad things to Satan. Anyway, I have a director. He's an awesome, beautiful black man. He's one of mine. We're in the same tribe, and I'm taking the book and I'm adapting the play from the book, right? And we're doing virtual table readings, and he got into this whole thing with me, and it was really fair. It was a fair call. He got into this thing about me and God, because God is all over my work. It's like God, 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 God. But it's not a religious God, right? Anyway, he asked me, what's up with me and God, right? And So I talked to him about it. We talked about, because he was asking what was my conversion story, you know, how did I get down with the church? He asked me some very real questions, and he has a right to ask me real questions because that's why you have a director, to ask you real questions. Anyway, I told him I never did church like that. I went to church because they had food. We went to churches because they had clothes, they had vacation Bible school, they had breakfast, they had food, okay? Yeah, dragons, I see you, Robin, right? So I didn't go to church for spiritual reasons, y'all. I went to church because my whole situation was like that. It was all functional, right? So I didn't meet God in the church, right? I didn't. I met God on the streets. All right? I met Jesus in the club. When Stomp came out, make me clap my hands, make me wanna dance. Remember that? That was the thing, right? So I don't have a conversion like a Saul to Paul story, right? I've studied the Bible, I've read it multiple times, because I'm down for that. I'm into God, right? And I love Old Testament God. Old Testament God makes sense to me because Old Testament God is like the streets. It is an unrelenting law. And so when he was asking me these questions about like what is my conversion, you know, like it's and because the Saul to Paul, you know, the taxpayer who wrote darn near all of the New Testament, Paul, right? I don't have that story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kirk Franklin, right? I don't have that story. I don't know God like that. I know the Bible back and forth, and I've studied so many different kinds of religions to find my own way of reaching God, the God of my understanding, right? Because I couldn't get down with a God in the sky. I needed a God that bleeds. I needed a God that feels my pain. I needed a protective God because that's what I needed on the streets. And so we took one of the scenes from the book, which is God, and me and God are going at it. Just like we would on the streets, you know, and put it at the beginning of the play, right? You should know my father made sure my mother didn't kill me, right? She wanted to abort me. And my father was very, 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 very street. I mean, about as street as they come. And so of course I would want a God that would want me, you know. And so when we put that particular scene at the beginning to set, you know, to how do you say, set the pace, set the container, set the context, I got scared. I got scared because I was like, oh my God, every Christian that comes to my play is going to lose their mind because they don't talk to God like this. They don't talk to God like he's like a brother from the streets. They talk to God like he's an angel in the air. And that's not my thing. And I got scared. And I've been scared ever since. I've been trying to write, you know, and I have to rewrite the opening now because if we're going to frame it in terms of God, I've kept two frames: humanizing black men because of my father, and reimagine our relationship with God because my relationship with God is a personal relationship. It is not rooted in any kind of dogma from any kind of religion, right? Anyway, I moved the darn thing and lost my mind and been choked ever since. So I called Nanna. I said, Nanna, I'm scared of Christians. They're going to be mad. They're going to boycott. They're going to shut me down. They're going to say I'm blasphemous. They're going to say bad things. They're going to say that I don't love the Lord. They're going to say that I'm a bad example. They're going to say all kinds of things because I don't talk to God in their vernacular in reverence. And in my mind, reverence means truth. If you love somebody, you revere them by telling the truth. Anyway, so me and Nanna got into the conversation. Now, Nanna's a devout Christian, and she's cool as hell. She's her peoples are all AME, right? Anyway, we were talking, And you have to keep in mind, she's still mending. It's not like she's all the way well. And so I'm calling her, trying to work on this play, trying to make sense of it. And she said something that blew my mind. And I haven't figured it all out yet because I haven't figured out how I'm going to write this. And I don't know if I will write it. But I was like, God, I don't know what to do. Should I just try to make it more digestible? You know, try to make my stuff fit people. Like, God being this, I'm not trying to be provocative on purpose. I just don't see the world. I see the world through this lens of the streets. That's real for me. That is not, I don't curse because I'm being provocative. I curse because that's how I talk. That's how I was talked to. You know? And so she said to me about 2 or 3 things that blew my brain. She said, well, Venus, this is Nanna, if you have 2 people in the room, one of them will be offended. Like, okay. She said, if you have 5 people in the room, 2 of them will be offended. And I said, okay, what if I have 100? Because the Raw Truth book tour kicks off in Santa Monica and the theater seats 100 people, right? She said, then 5 or 6 will be offended. And what her point was, she said, people are going to get offended. They're going to be offended. And I'm like, you know, Nanna, but what if they walk out? What if they don't like it? What if they say that I'm just disrespecting God? Like, and I'm like, and she said, if they walk out, let them walk. She said, let them walk. Because not everybody will walk out. And she was saying that I can't write worried about Christians being offended. And so I'm like, okay, God, but what if nobody comes? What if nobody likes my word, you know? And I know it's the holidays, you know, I know that, right? But we're 3 weeks out. And I'm like, have I been too much? You know, am I too much? Maybe I should have tried to at least thought about how it would land. But I don't write like that. I wrote it for me. You know, I wrote it for me to heal myself. I wrote it to get out of bed after, you know, I can't have a kid. And I think it's amazing to my brain that in this midst of me wanting to know my Father who kept me alive, that I will never have a child. And I don't even know how to do that. I don't even know how to make those 2 fit, you know? And so she said, you can't write worried about Christians because Christians are going to do what Christians do, you know? And then she said, I said, I don't know. I don't have a conversion story. I don't know why me and God are so tight. We've been this way forever. I don't have it like I've always been with God. I've never not had God. I don't have a sinner to saint story. I don't have nothing like that. And then she said something that was beautiful that only someone who's 74 could say. She said that when my father stood for my life, when I was in my mother's womb, Nanna said that God heard him and said, I got her. So I've never been without God. I've never not had God. I've never, ever not had God. Now, I can't say a lot about, a lot of people make a distinction between God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. I don't have it like that. I don't have it like that. Now, me and Jesus have fights. Me and Jesus fight on a regular basis. But I think that's what siblings do. And we fight all the time. That's normal. And so, I don't know a life without God. I don't know. God is more real to me than people are. I spend more time with God than I do with people, and always have. And so I can't really talk in a traditional Christian, when I was a sinner. I don't even hold me as a sinner. I don't think God holds me as a sinner. I think I am God's favorite because there's no way else to explain my life. I should be dead or crazy or doing some bullshit, whatever. But my point is, I love her for saying that. That my father stood for me. And God said, I got her. No worries, I got you. And it makes sense to me because I don't have it that I've ever not had God, right? I just don't. And I don't want to have to defend my relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to explain to the world how come I talk to God like he's a black man who just got out of jail. I talk to God like he's a brother from the streets. I talk to God like I would probably talk to my father. Because street talk is not polite. It is not respectable. It's not designed for that. So I don't write like that. I write like a girl from the streets. And my worry is that Christians are going to come and take my stuff out of context and try to turn it into something that it was never built for. So and then Nanna she said, well, if you don't want to start with God, you can do your dad, your mom, and then God, which is softer, Chandra, I'm fine. I cry all the time. But I love you for being concerned for me. This is why I come to my tribe. My truth tellers have been with me for years, so it'll be okay. I think that what she was saying about my father and God, I think I've always conflated God the Father and my father, And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if you have a personal relationship with God, it shouldn't have to fit into a box. You know what I'm saying? And so, well, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Robinson. I appreciate you. And so, I guess I'll just have to be brave and trust that 100% of the right people will come, and know that there will probably be, mixed reviews. And I'm going to offend some people. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Sonia says, I don't think you're afraid of Christians. I believe that you're afraid of what church folks would say. Okay. We must come to God in spirit and in truth. Okay, I didn't have that distinction, Sonia. I didn't have that, so thank you. I didn't have that distinction. But it's the attack that I'm bracing for. It's the attack of, how dare you talk to God that way? I'm like, well, how else can I talk to God? This is how I was talked to. This is how I talk. I can't pretend to be something I'm not. And so, I love you, Yolanda. He said he shouldn't be in the box. Break the stereotype. I love you. So I guess it's just a function of being brave. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a function of being brave. And Nana won't be with me in Santa Monica. And that's disheartening a bit because she makes me brave. But some of you will be there. Some of my truth tellers will be there. And I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. I'm not worried about the tour. I think the tour will have the people in it. I think it's just the first time. I think it's just the Santa Monica dates that I'm mostly concerned for. Because I think after I do it one time, I'll be prepared. I'll be all right. But Nana said, let him go. And I love this thing about my father and God the Father working in cahoots to keep me alive, to train me up, to get me to this weekend. Hey, Betsy. So, oh, Michelle, can you recap your topic today? Why I'm afraid of Christians. I wrote it out more this time. You're gonna have to go back and listen. But Nana got power in her. Oh yeah, Nana not playing. I'm not even. There's a lot of people. It's not. Yeah, Nana she's just smart. You know what I'm saying? She's almost 75. But it's a beautiful reframe. That of course I would talk to God the way I would talk to my father, the way that I've been talked to. So I don't have to hold it like a failure that I don't talk to God in Bible verses or, in a way that people deem respectful and reverence. Where I come from, if you respect somebody, you tell them the truth. You don't lie. Truth, right? Raw truth. But so it's all good. I think I'm just going to surrender it and go ahead and write it and trust that if people walk out, they walk out, and it's okay. And I try my best to get people prepared. I ask people not to bring people under 18 unless they ask me, right? But it's adult. It's an adult conversation. It's grown people stuff. Denise says, you're made for this moment. I love you for that, Denise. Thank you. Don't be afraid to speak the truth. You are meant to tell. Will some leave it? No, but that's their loss, not yours. They don't accept Jesus, but he kept it moving. Oh, that's worse. She said they didn't accept Jesus, and he kept it moving. That's true. He turned over tables. Your personal relationship with God, this is beautiful. Duana says, your personal relationship with God is your relationship not to be judged by anyone. The judgment is not something you should even consider. It's not the judgment, it's the attack. I need y'all to hear the difference. Christian people, from my experience and understanding, is they feel like they have a right to attack people who don't do it the way they do it. Even if they do it politely. I've had people try to check me on my own platform about me and God. Like, oh, you shouldn't curse and talk to God. I'm like, why? God has to hurt me. If I'm thinking the curse words, you don't think God knows? You know what I'm saying? And I love you too, Betsy. I'm talking about... So for all of my Christian truth tellers, I'm not talking about you, okay? So that's not what I'm trying to express. I just have it's a fresh fear, right? It's honest. But what I'm trying to say is, Nana's smart, and I trust her. And it was just wisdom around. Some people are going to be offended. Let them go. And my Father and my God are that they got me. All right, so I'm going to take on being brave. Thank you, Idris. So that's it for now. But thank you for listening. Thank you for witnessing. Thank you for sitting with me. My truth tellers, I love you. I love you. I love you with my whole heart. Can someone type this link in? There they did attack Jesus. They came for him raw. Can someone type in rawtruthbook.com/tour so people can find it if they want to come and actually see it? what is it? It's rawtruthbook.com/tour. rawtruthbook.com. rawtruthbook.com/tour. Can someone please put that in the feed for me so that people who don't know what I'm talking about can at least find out what I'm talking about, because I didn't list it there. Thank you. Is it Verkia? Verkia? Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Berika. I call you Miss Robinson, so I don't want to mess up your first name. All right, beloveds. Guess I gotta go write a play. I love you. I appreciate you. Hey, Reggie. I appreciate you. And thank you for your support. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for not attacking. I get to be brave. Oh, thank you, Janetta. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much. Oh, and thank you for tagging. No, thank you. If you think this word's going to help somebody, tag them. Verika. Oh, Verika. Thank you for that, Verika. Hey, Tabby. All right, beloveds. It was. She said that it was the religious people who crucified Jesus. Ouch. Point taken. I done sent a request for you on my show. No response. Reggie, Honey Bear, I can't manage that right now. My mother just came out the hospital. I'm got my book launched and I have my tour. I can't manage it right now, okay? And I love you for being willing to have me on your show. We'll get to it as soon as we can. But I literally have no bandwidth for anything except for what I'm doing right now. And that's not a slam. That's just the truth, okay? So I thank you in advance for your patience. Thank you. Okay, y'all. I love you. I'm going to go write a play. I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully I'll see you on the tour, okay? If you want to, if you feel like this will help somebody, share it and tag people, okay? I love you. Goodbye for now. And I look forward to seeing you, hopefully in Santa Monica. It would mean the world to me. Goodbye for now.